Hello again, you're watching the Midday View on eNCA. Now, the youth vote and even younger councillor candidates have come sharply into focus for this local government election. There have been calls for younger politicians to be given a chance to govern. But will including young candidates on the ballot translate into more youth at the polls? Political analyst Professor Barry Hanyane is joining us now live here on the Midday View. Prof, good afternoon, and thank you very much for your time here on the Midday View. How important is the youth vote in this election, particularly because we are seeing a lower voter registration, but we are seeing more young candidate councillors having been put as possible candidates, so to speak, by various parties?
Braden, good afternoon to your viewers as well. I think the importance of this is that it paves the way for some kind of succession plan, not only on the leadership side, but also in terms of generational politics. We would want to see the youth being robbed into various structures of our polity, be it political parties, be it serving in our municipal councils, be it encouraging them to be active to ensure that our polity and our democracy by extension is in good hands. So here for once you have people who would be able to learn, would be able to relate to some of the policies and the work in which it's needed to improve our local government structures and systems.
Do you think the fact that a number of political parties have included young people as candidate councillors will attract more young voters this time around compared to the past elections in the country?
I think so. And from an international perspective, let's not forget the immediate experience that we saw in Zambia, the youth deciding national politics in that part of the world. And surely it should not become a foreign thing in South Africa that our very own generation can emulate to a certain degree the much needed impetus in terms of manpower, in terms of skills, but more so in terms of keeping our culture of activism alive and well.
Yeah, one of the issues that we're hearing all the time as our reporters are talking to various communities across the country as we build up to next week, Monday, is around unemployment or youth unemployment, and the fact that the young people form the biggest chunk of those who are jobless in our country. Would it be fair to look to the young candidate councillors, if they are successful in the various municipalities, to be able to inject into local processes that key awareness and effort to make sure that the young people in their areas at least are employed or become employable?
Yeah, but then I think in all fairness, the challenge is bigger than your youth involvement and participation. Municipalities have what we call your LED strategies. First things first, let's agree that from a bureaucratic point of view, certain strategies have not worked well, either owed to issues of incapacity, issues of lack of training for those managers responsible for encouraging your LED, but of course, there's a problem of investments themselves, either domestic or foreign. So these critical strategic issues have to be addressed first before we can demand those young candidates, those would-be young politicians, to inject their own contribution to make sure that we change the scene around. So let's get municipalities working first and then create a bedrock from which these young politicians can begin to exert influence.
Yeah, and finally, very brief, and those young councillors who become successful, surely they should be given the opportunity, a meaningful opportunity around the table to put their new, fresh ideas for consideration on the table.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, Braden. It's important we have young people to inject that much needed energy. And the popular adage coming from their quarter is that we don't need sleepists in council who are going to just relinquish their responsibilities. So yes, the whole idea is highly welcome, and let's hope that being guided by seasoned politicians, they should be able to take the baton and run with it and ensure that good governance becomes the order of the day.
Professor Barry Hanyane, thank you very much for your insights this hour on the Midday View as we look ahead and build up to Monday, the local government elections, specifically now just about young people and those councillors who are young who might be successful. What could they be bringing to the table and contribute to different futures for themselves and those who are coming in front? Now,